Paul van der Ham. He was a prominent student, I remember. Yes.
And Lex Korfdigits.
Lex Korfdigits. I was just writing down some of the names here, of many of the students that I either taught or had chamber music sessions, of course, which was a lot of chamber music. I was in touch with them in all sorts of ways like that, especially with chamber music. I did a lot of coaching there. And I remember a very, very tall fellow.
A tall fellow, like you.
Yes,
yes,
very tall.
And they made a quartet, I think the Miranda quartet.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
they played very well.
There's Piet van der Pijl.
Piet van der Pijl, that's right.
And I think Honey played the cello. You know Honey? Blonde lady played the cello.
Honey,
I forgot the second name. And also forgot the
Monique Bartels. I remember Monique Bartels was a very good cellist.
Excellent.
What was the name of that fellow? Remember when?
Can I help you though?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay.
Good for me to move.
Exercise.
What?
It's not bad. It is a living room.
Well, perhaps I'll stand up straighter. That'll be more attractive. Yes. What's the name of that fellow? We were getting off a train, and he was catching another train. No, we'd get out. We'd come from the airport, and we were going to catch a train. We were staying with Lickler in
Den Bosch.
In Den Bosch.
That's right.
Kees
Schroeder. Kees Schroeder.
Was he the viola player or?
I think he changed the viola. He was violin Schroeder. There's Kees Dekkers, Kees Schroeder.
Kees Dekkers was in the quartet.
That's right, viola, yes.
Kids,
yes, he was a very active fellow, and also he became a violin maker too, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, quite gifted. And yes, and another occasion we were catching a train.
John Fairweather, did you know?
John Fairweather.
He was a Dutchman.
Yeah.
Living in Utrecht. No, Utrecht.
Yes. But he was he played cello, I think. But he has a business in Melbourne. In fact, when you telephoned, I thought, oh dear, because unfortunately both Della and I have had a lot of illnesses that sort of make us unwell from time to time. And I thought, oh, what's going to happen if one of us is sick today and you're coming, I can't get in touch with you. So I tried to contact this fellow in Melbourne because he has a big violin shop, very successful.
Is it Fairweather?
Fairweather.
Fairweather.
F-E-R-W-E-R.
We'll make a note of it.
John Fairweather, yes. Yeah. And he's has a very successful violin business and deals a lot of very good instruments. Yes, and I thought maybe you'd got my contact from him, you see.
No, it was not. I think I was really looking in the web for your address. I couldn't find it.
Oh, did you?
But I left the airplane in Melbourne and I saw a telephone book.
Right.
By Paces, and I just looked for Curby.
Oh.
I saw you, Harry and Della.
Oh.
Curby. Yeah, I found this. But I had no idea Sydney is such a big city, so I said
that's right.
just one of the roads. No, it was misconception. Anyway, so this was, but then I could make you a phone call.
Oh, that's how amazing. Yes.
I was so surprised because when you rang last night, I think Harry was mentioning that this ex-student from Canada had rung him, and then there was, Harry had tried, he promised he'd ring him back, and had tried to get him, but he was unavailable. So I thought, oh, he's contacted Harry again.
So Della thought you were calling from, you were the former student from Canada.
From Canada.
No,
from 1983.
Netherlands, so I said, oh.
Different, yes.
Yes. And and we've had, of course, we've had a lot of contact with Dutch people here. We've had Van Otterlo, who was Van Otterlo. He was
was it Willem or
Willem van Otterlo? Yes, he was a much loved conductor here. Oh, very much loved. Yes, and he conducted, I think, for about the principal conductor of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra for several years. I played under him for about a year
Yes.
before the quartet was reformed. And yes, and
And then he had a terrible accident. I think he was killed in a
yes.
racing car. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
And
Steve.
he has also a famous son, Roger from Otto Roger. I think he was more in the popular, well, semi-popular.
Ah, yes.
He had romantic flute music, and so he composed and arranged many music.
Yeah. Boersma, was that the name of the double bass player?
Kees Boersma. Kees Boersma.
Oh,
I'm not sure, I think that's...
for the Fura. So maybe...
Well, it's a good sounding Dutch name anyway.
Yes, maybe you can tell again about the Forel Quintet. So the camera was just breaking down. So you had... you had the school concert?
Well, it's humorous. No, it was actually a concert. The impresario had asked the quartet to prepare a program to play in this castle in Limburg somewhere. Beautiful place. And they said you can play anything you like as long as you include the Forellen string quartet. So we had Gerard van Blerik on the piano, and then the Boersma, I think, is a famous Dutch double bass player from the Concertgebouw. That may not be the name.
Okay.
And with he and the quartet, of course, we did the Forellen quintet. And so we chose a program of the Mozart Dissonanten, and I think it was the Bartók third string quartet interval, and then the Forellen. So after we played the Mozart, the audience was very mild in its appreciation, hardly a clap, but then you think, well, they don't see Mozart as very exciting, so one gets used to that. And then we did the Bartók, and then we thought, well, there's very little applause for that. They're probably a bit shocked by it. But then after we finished the Forellen string quartet, there was great cheering and stamping and applause, and they were so happy. And we couldn't make out why there was such a difference in the reaction. And we thought obviously it was a favourite of theirs in some way. There was a large audience of 200 or 300 people, and then we were invited downstairs in the castle for coffee and cake and drinks. And to our utter amazement, it was a conference about raising tropical fish. And they had these big fish tanks with all these highly coloured tropical fish.
Right. Yes.
No interest in music at all.
The riddle was solved.
It's solved.
That's a marvelous story.
That's a good story, isn't it? Yes. Actually, talking about a castle, when we were living in Holland, and much to my sorrow, and with great regard for Della's good sense of property, which I've always stopped buying, but she was right. She wanted to buy a mill in Holland.
A mill?
Yeah, a windmill. Yeah, because at that time...
Real size? Real size?
A real one, yes.
Real one,
Because
yes.
they were starting to convert them then, and now you can't buy them, they cost the millions.
Oh yes, it's out of the question. So, and you would use it as a home, yes.
Yes.
Maybe even as a quartet exercise.
That's right.
With all the wheels going.
That's right.
Another thing I wanted to do was to buy a barge,
Oh yes.
Right, yes.
because I thought a
boat in the-
barge would be just fabulous. To live in a barge on the Thames, oh, not on the
Not
Thames, on the
Canals in
The
the
canals.
yes,
system,
yes, in
yes.
Amsterdam, or I believe in Utrecht. You could also get some
Yes,
wonderful
it's
barges.
possible, yes,
The
yes.
space of living and just the lifestyle, I thought would be simply marvellous. And if one felt like it, you slip the moorings and go wherever you want to go.
Excellent. It's a very romantic interpretation of the book.
Yes. I think
You
the
know,
romance is far more attractive than the reality.
Very
Well, I have no
romantic.
reality, only the romance, you
Okay,
see.
yes, you see. Because you see, the typical thing in the canals is that the boats that will come and pass by, it makes a lot of swinging
Wave.
effect.
Wave.
So you sit.
Oh,
Yes.
A friend of me, he's a very good violin player, Hans Rijkmans. He's in fact is a freelance violin player in Amsterdam. He has a lot of work. He lives on a barge, and he had built one, a new one.
oh really?
those are lighthouses. So